All right, so a little personal check-in, just kind of what's going on in Mark Warnke, PackGoats.com, Top End Adventures, and Ripple Ranch, kind of my three professional life entities and kind of personal check-in. So, we're on our third year here at the ranch. We still haven't owned it for 3 years, and we've done enormous amounts of time, money, and energy improving it. Took it from one house with another one that was basically not a living dwelling, but was being lived in, and getting both living dwellings, one remodeled completely, and that's the North End home that has been just so great for us with guests and workers and those sorts of things. And then building the Ripple Center, the big space where people have like gatherings and learnings and teaching, helping people. It sits like in chairs like 100, and like on yoga mats like 25. So it's a big enough space to kind of have a group event. And then to complement that stuff, we have that 15-person sauna and a 15-person cold plunge. Sorry, it looks like my hand is shaking. I just got done working out, so sorry if it's a little jiggly. Do all that, 15-person sauna, 15-person cold plunge, meeting space, closing in the tractor barn to raise kids, all the shelters for all the goats. It was a horse property before we moved on it, so over 3 miles of fencing to contain our pastures, seeding, planting, manipulating the water system in terms of irrigation out of the creek. Just tons. Setting up all the pens, the milking operation, the milk barn. Every time I go over it, I'm astounded how much we've done. But what that means is that we have had a incredibly challenging last 3 years of trying to have work-life balance and kind of the stress of it. I'm not a rich guy who owns a ranch. I'm a guy who got lucky and, am right at the edge of my means, and had to really grow my means while I was here to be able to make sure it doesn't, eat me up. And so for the last 3 years, not only have we been doing this on the ranch, I've had to turn up everything in terms of my business life so that I can pay for it, because I don't want to be an old dude that is still working hard to pay off a piece of ground. I kind of want to be done and have more time for leisure and positive influence on the world and, all that fun stuff. So, what I'm super stoked to kind of announce and say I'm so deeply grateful for, is that we have found that moment where what the ranch costs us, what we need to make sure we're able to pay off in a progressive rate greater than just making a mortgage payment, and putting money in savings. So, my kids, so I'm not just the only asset I have at the end of my life is my land. Now it's worth it, but I still want to have something, and not because I think inheritance is a big deal. I just don't want to, I want the net worth that I've accumulated to make sure I don't burden my kids with my own transition process. And other than that, I'm not super keen on inheritance. And my main thing is just to kind of shut off when I hit my magic number, because I always want to work. I always want to be, productive and contributive. And that's how you flow the whole thing together. You can't stop completely. But at the same time, I'm going to have more ability, and I'm taking more time now to do things like fish the river with my son, get together with other groups of profound people and have deep conversations, and proactive with community, and having like the dances at our ranch. Those are super beautiful events to share with other people. And Trisha and I are doing this work with couples now, and we're doing it with couples, meaning I'm one of the students, and we go to these profound, really amazing couple groups or couples days, about once every 2 to 3 months, and it is just has literally catapulted our relationship, our closeness. I mean, our arguing is down by like 80%. Our closeness is up by 80%. Our intimate life is really solid, and it's been just such a beautiful experience to start learning more from my partner, because I see her through, I just see her for all she is in a much cleaner way now. And it lets me just stay closer to her, which is what we all desire, just closeness with our person. And so that's been a huge, feels like, mutual victory for Trisha and I that's really positively influenced our lives. And the other thing is too, we're getting freaking married, so that's rad as well. Getting married, July or June 22nd, and then we have this really beautiful honeymoon planned. And I kind of saved for the honeymoon for like years on the side, little rat hole thing for it, and so I was able to really afford, I've been married one time, and that honeymoon was beautiful and all that stuff. It was 28 years ago. I was married for 18 years, but we were like everyone else, kind of a broke, just trying to make it happen, getting married couple, and we didn't have a chance to do a really super meaningful trip that stability and abundance can kind of make possible. So yeah, I'm super stoked. Trisha let me, this is so cool, she let me keep it a secret. I've traveled the world for most of my adult life and been all over, and she let me literally plan a 2-week honeymoon, taking into account the things she wants to do, and it is absolutely going to twist her inside out. I'm so excited to share it with her. It's super beautiful. So anyway, you guys, I've rambled on this for 6 minutes. For those of you that are still here, I appreciate you, and I'm grateful for both our community around us and our online community, and just feeling really super grateful that I've kind of gotten through a really challenging last 3 years, and the challenge isn't over, but I can lift my foot off the gas just a little bit, and to be honest with you, I needed that. I was getting tired. I was getting tired. So I'm 54, and I've worked hard my whole life, and I know what it takes to really push the needle in companies, and I have 3 of them, and it takes a ton of time and energy and lots of contribution by other people way freaking smarter than me, man. Part of that process has always been about humbling myself to realize there are other people who know more. Flow abundance to them, and they'll flow abundance back. Just be a good person to deal with. So anyway, appreciate you listening. Super grateful for you.